Welcome to episode 9 of Everything Under the Sun with your host Pooja. I am really excited today because finally the microphone set that I had ordered arrived and I will hopefully be able to provide better sound quality going forward. I wanted to record this topic last week, but due to a health issue I was not able to do so. Actually, this health issue is what got me thinking about this topic. Courage hiding in plain sight. What is courage? A highly regarded and sought after virtue. We have heard numerous stories of courage, right from David and Goliath to our armed forces protecting our borders from terrorists. Courage has always been seen as something only a few brave people exhibited, not everyone's cup of tea. The brave few who act during times of crisis and life-threatening situations. Like the firefighters who jump into the fire to rescue a child, or the rescue teams at Mount Everest who risk their lives to save stranded tourists and climbers. And all these are fine examples of courage and they are worthy of the salute. But this pandemic has opened a new face of courage. Ordinary people have showed up for the human collective and risking exposure to the virus every day. They are not dying of bullets or missiles, but they are sacrificing themselves every day. The hospital cleaning staff, the garbage collectors, the nurses, the doctors, the mailmen, the milkman, the food and grocery delivery guys, the drivers, the transport guys, countless people. And imagine the lab technicians who are working 18-hour shifts testing thousands of samples. Imagine the risk every time the lab technician opens a blood sample. And all this is happening in silence and shows us how we just cannot survive without each other. Money doesn't really matter, We need another human being to survive and thrive truly. A poem recently caught my attention called Courage by Edgar Albert Guest. I'm going to recite it for you here. Courage isn't a brilliant dash, a daring deed in a moment's flash. It isn't an instantaneous thing, born of despair with a sudden spring. It isn't a creature of flickered hope or the final tug at a slipping rope, but it's something deep in the soul of man that is working always to serve some plan. Courage isn't the last resort in the work of life or the game of sport. It isn't a thing that a man can call at some future time when he is apt to fall. If he hasn't it now, he will have it not, when the strain is great and the pace is hot. For who would strive for a distant goal must always have courage within his soul. Courage isn't a dazzling light that flashes and passes away from sight. It's a slow, unwavering, ingrained trait with the patience to work and the strength to wait. It's a part of a man when his skies are blue. It's part of him when he has work to do. The brave man never is freed of it. He has it when there is no need of it. Courage was never designed for show. It isn't a thing that can come and go. It's written in victory and defeat, and every trial a man may meet. It's part of his hours, his days and his years, back of his smiles and behind his tears. Courage is more than a daring deed. It's the breath of life and a strong man's creed. Isn't that wonderful? This poem got me thinking, what is the real nature of courage? We exhibit it every day, actually, even without realizing. Personally, a very difficult health challenge showed me that courage is not limited to few heroic acts. Courage is a constant, a part of one's character. We seldom give ourselves the credit for it. As someone who knows physical pain too well, while listening to this poem being recited, it struck me that I have had courage all along to manage pain and show up for work and make time for my passion, writing and podcasting, to have been patient with my health challenges and get out of bed on days I just didn't want to. Courage has always been there. Through various decisions and crossroads of life, courage has always been there. But it was never this obvious, as I suddenly found it staring back at me. I studied in a school whose motto was dare and do. And I think somewhere this was in my subconscious, I think. And I started to identify courage in the people around me. So many, many examples of tremendous courage in patience and endurance. To excel with what has been given to you is courage. I think it's time courage is brought out of the golden drapes and out into daily life. Not all of us have courage in all aspects of life, but we have showcased it at least once. I have seen a close friend whose life turned around 360 degrees in a matter of hours due to a rare medical condition, and I have watched this person show extraordinary courage through his recovery. I would not have been able to do this as gracefully as he did. Another close friend who lost a life partner at a young age and is a single parent not only survived but is thriving with tremendous courage, showing by example that life can go on and can actually be turned around. I want to acknowledge countless individuals suffering from anxiety, depression, claustrophobia, and various mental illnesses. During this time of lockdown, they have lost their external support system, but they are hanging in there. Trust me, for a person with claustrophobia, a simple elevator ride requires every ounce of willpower. It goes unnoticed because no one understands the nature of the fear and the courage to surmount them. Courage manifests in so many places, often in not so obvious places. Courage needs to be recognized in the nooks and the crannies of life. This needs to be cultivated in children, empowering them by showing its true side, I feel. The line from the poem Courage, which I just recited, one line from it, it's so apt for the condition today. Let me recite it again. It's a slow, unwavering, ingrained trait with the patience to work and the strength to wait. Isn't that true? The strength to wait is what humanity has been called for now, to be patient, to let this pandemic, cross over. Patience seems to be another manifestation of courage. Patience for our bodies to heal, patience to mend broken relationships, patience for wars to end, and just at times, patience to wait for the tides to turn in life. So many children in the world take growth hormone injections every single day for years, and some of them learn to take it themselves. Isn't that courage? Countless diabetes patients around the world take insulin injections every single day. That is courage. I want people to recognize courage in the not so obvious or taken for granted places, and more importantly, within themselves. Pat yourself on the back once in a while. Praise yourself on the courage you have manifested in your life. Imagine an elaborate award ceremony like a red carpet event and give yourself that trophy. We are so wrapped up sometimes in our modesty that courage hides in plain sight. So think of the times in life you might have shown courage and not really given yourself due credit. Write it down and try and understand courage in your life. Now, this is by no means to feed the ego or to get into a superiority context, by any means. All of us have various degrees of challenges, and if you compare your life challenges with another, there will always be someone more courageous than you. And that is absolutely all right. But understanding our inner strength, deepening our self-respect, and cultivating conscious living is the goal. Once you do this, you will start recognizing the courage within your own family, friends, neighbors, colleagues, and a natural respect will develop towards them. Imagine a society that is so in tune with each other's challenges, and now that would be a truly evolved universal consciousness. We may be far away from this, but we can start with ourselves right now. So, a salute from me to the courage in all of you. Take care and loads of love. Until next time, signing off, your host Pooja.